think we've been so afraid of being hurt by the world around us that we forgot how to embrace the world around us. So that's what we're trying to do. That's what we hope to do by opening up about this.
Come and fly away with me. Come and fly away with me.
Hey, so it's Jay again, and I'm about to go to bed, and I just wanted to add some things to just about like being open about things and how we're all feeling about it, and the idea of putting ourselves out there and talking about this and trying to be more open again and what that might look like. And I think for so long the idea of anyone truly getting to know us, like for who each of us are, was so scary that we retreated into ourselves and we didn't let anybody get to know us. And then as we learned more about our system and each part of our system, more and more it became hard not to want to be known, and caused us to almost feel upset at the amount of people that we realized didn't truly know us. And now we're trying to figure out how to let them, because I think for so long we've been so afraid of people truly getting to know us, because we've been afraid of what they'll think or how they'll treat us or how they'll respond to truly knowing what's going on, and the fact that our consciousness is fragmented in the way that it is, and that our brain works the way it does. I think that thought has been so nerve-wracking for us, and we've been so afraid of getting hurt or not being able to ever be truly understood in our minds, that we felt like we couldn't open up about things because we wouldn't be accepted, we'd be put down, we'd be not believed, we'd be ridiculed. For so long, I think we've assumed the worst, and deep down, we've wanted to believe that it's okay to open up, that the people that are meant to will stick around, and that our message will resonate with people if we just open up about our experiences. And we want to believe that we can make an impact, a positive impact on the world. Whatever direction life decides to take us, that we make a positive impact on those around us, that we can find happiness and healing and share that with people, find human connection, learn more about ourselves and the world around us. That's our goal. That's always been our goal. But I think we've been so afraid of being hurt by the world around us that we forgot how to embrace the world around us. So that's what we're trying to do. That's what we hope to do by opening up about this. We want to start living again. We don't want to just keep surviving. We want to remember what it's like to fall back in love with life. So that's what we're trying to do. And we're so inspired by some of the other systems that we've seen online, because they helped us realize that we weren't alone through the process of this diagnosis and through our healing journey, and feeling so confused and scared and uncertain. They helped us feel seen and made us realize that it is possible to live with this. So that's why we're talking about it. That's why we hope to be brave enough to release this video in whatever form it takes by the end of us editing this and maybe getting the courage to post it. We want to be there for people in the way that the people that have been there for us helped us through these things. And we want to be there for ourselves. We want to document this process. It's been a journey, and it still is a journey, and we don't want to keep taking that journey alone. So, thanks for listening. I'm gonna get to bed now. We're a little bit co-conscious right now. That's referring to when we're dissociating a little bit, and there may be more than one part that's somewhat close to the front or aware of what's going on. And I just wanted to talk a little bit about self-expression within systems, because I've seen a lot about it online and about how the internet tends to present a very sensationalized idea of what D.I.D is and what it looks like and what it can look like. And we just kind of wanted to give our thoughts on that as a system that tends to present pretty covertly or tends to mask a lot and is slowly learning to unmask or learning what that looks like in safe spaces, like around friends and family, and just becoming more aware of our masking and what we do on a daily basis to express ourselves, but also hide the reason that we look different day to day and things like that. This morning, a particular headmate had been mostly in charge of picking out this outfit, and we're not super comfortable saying names right now or introducing this part. Right now it's mostly Jay and this other alter who isn't quite sure if they're ready to share their name. So we're gonna respect that. But they were mostly the one who helped pick out this outfit and did the makeup today. And throughout the years, we see pictures where we look more close to one style than another, or we'll dress more alternative, goth, bubbly, more like a tomboy, more girly on different days. And the way that we have always explained that, even prior to knowing about the D.I.D, was by saying, I just have a wide range of styles. I just dress differently depending on my mood. I dressed for the occasion. And I've also never really had an easy time understanding what dressing for an occasion means, because every part of my system has always loved expressing themselves through clothing and self-expression and makeup and finding an excuse to have those occasions to dress for. So there have been times that we've gone to meet up with friends or family and been told that we were overdressed for something. And I think that's just because when we allow our various alters to express themselves, they get very excited about that, and we may look different from time to time. Our makeup may look very different on certain days than others, depending on who is around, who is out that day, how feminine or masculine we're feeling that day. The easiest way we've found to chalk it up for a very long time was, we're just, very gender fluid, or, some days we just have a different vibe. And while those things explain part of it, they're not explaining the full story. But that being said, every part of my system that I'm aware of knows that, knows what our birth name is and our basic information for the most part,
they can kind of recite back if asked, and are mostly used to hearing that name, even if it doesn't quite feel like theirs. And that's how we've gone through life. And now suddenly, all of those alters who have felt that the birth name didn't quite fit or didn't quite feel like theirs are suddenly realizing that there were reasons for that. And that's been a lot to unpack. And so when we see systems fully expressing themselves, we get it. And as someone who loves makeup and costuming and dressing up, I get it. I mean, we cosplayed, and I've been a professional makeup artist. That was our job for years. And I think one of the things that drew us to that career was the ability to be able to look a certain way and change your appearance for the moment. And yeah, I think that makeup and artistry has always been a form of self-expression for us, and that doesn't always look the same across the board for us, even if we've not been aware of that. I mean, since I can remember, I remember people saying, "Oh, you look so different today," or "You look so different from your social media as like from when I see you like day to day." And I think that's because our mind has been very compartmentalized, and so has our life, and we haven't realized that. And now as we are realizing that, we're seeing where there was differences, and we're becoming more aware of it. But it's much more easily spotted when it's pointed out to people. And it's much easier to tell those differences when we're acknowledging them. And we're saying, hey, this is what's going on. This is who's around. This is why I look this way. Here's the differences. Whereas if you saw us day to day, and yesterday I was wearing a button-up fancy work clothes and not a whole lot of makeup, you might just assume, oh, that was a more masculine day, or they were dressing to be more professional for work. And both things can be true. It just depends on which of us picked the outfit that day, what the occasion was, who we were going to be around, if we felt comfortable, if we felt safe. But I know for a fact that the alter that picked out the makeup and clothing today, if they got to pick out what we looked like on a daily basis, we would have a lot more bold makeup choices and dress in darker clothing and darker colors, because that's what they're drawn to. That's how they feel the most comfortable. And I think that's okay. I think for a long time we felt like we couldn't wear wigs without people thinking, oh, you're cosplaying. But we've seen neurotypicals who wear wigs just for the fashion of it. They want a different vibe that day. And that's socially acceptable. People wear wigs for a lot of different reasons. But we felt like we couldn't, because we felt like it was pointing out something that wasn't supposed to be known, and that felt dangerous, it felt unsafe, it felt different. So that's how we've addressed that when questions have come up for years. So when we see systems online who are farther along in their healing journey and who are in safe environments, like at home, expressing themselves and recording videos, and you can see these drastic differences between the way that they dress and the mannerisms and things like that, I think it is easier to see, one, when you're looking for it, and two, when those things are presented to you so back to back and in congruent fashion. When it seems like this big dramatic switch, because you're not seeing it as days in between or hours in between or whatever, unless systems are recording switches, and switches can look different for different systems, and they can look different like depending on the switch. Some happen more seamlessly than others. Some are more drawn out and filled with dissociation for hours, and some are much more obvious than others. I don't know. Just today, we were out with friends, and there was definitely a switch. And I know this because suddenly I felt as if I was watching myself having the conversation and was no longer in control of what was being said, and was just sort of watching what was happening for a while. And I knew exactly what alter was out because we had been somewhat co-conscious, and it was a very seamless switch. And we were actually able to stay pretty grounded, which is actually somewhat of a breakthrough for us. I'll have to mention this to my therapist. But we stayed pretty grounded. I stayed pretty grounded, even though we were co-conscious. And I was aware of what was happening, but I also wasn't in control. And that feeling can be very uncomfortable. It can be very unsettling, and it can make you feel like you're panicking. And we were able to stay a bit more grounded and calm through that. But I don't think that the friend that we were with noticed. In fact, I would be willing to say that they didn't. And online, you're not always seeing that, because when someone is online and they're in the comfort of their home, right now, if we switched and whoever else was around didn't want to be wearing this, we have access to other clothes, we have access to makeup remover or different kinds of makeup if we wanted. Whereas if we're out with friends, we're not gonna run home and change our hair and our makeup and everything. Like, we make sure that at least the majority of us are comfortable with the outfit that whoever was around had picked, or we deal with whatever outfit has been picked for the day. And when someone says, "Oh my gosh, I love your outfit," we go, "Oh yeah, that's what I'm wearing today." And it can be startling to look in the mirror and be like, "Whoa, that's what I look like right now. Okay, I don't remember looking like that." And we've seen other systems talk about this, but we also understand why that's not the majority of what you may be seeing online. Because online, again, you do have the freedom to click pause and go change into something that makes you feel more comfortable. In the same way that if you get home and you're in work clothes, or you've been painting and you're in painting clothes and you're like, "Oh, I want to change out of this, I don't feel comfortable." It's kind of the same thing for systems. If you switch and you're feeling uncomfortable in something that you're wearing, you have as much right as anybody else to change and to feel comfortable in what you're wearing. Just like if someone without D.I.D. was, wearing a jacket, they're too hot inside, so they take it off. Like, I don't know. I guess I just don't really see this controversy or how it's sensationalizing or romanticizing this disorder to accommodate yourself in small ways. I don't see where someone having differences or fluctuations to how they present or how they're perceived or how they dress day to day would be a bad thing, whether they were a system or not. And so when systems are accused of sensationalizing D.I.D. by allowing their headmates to dress in a way that is comfortable for each of them, I guess I just don't quite understand why that's uncomfortable for other people, and why that's suddenly a topic that people get very polarized about. But I don't know. That's just my take. So that's my thoughts for the day.
Hi, so this is mostly blue. We're pretty grounded right now, but we've been a bit spacey on and off today. And I think we might be a little bit co-conscious, but I'm mostly blue. And I didn't really want to turn the camera on right now, but I had a few things to say that I wanted to add to the video that I know has been made so far. I know Jay and Lynn have both recorded pieces of this video, and I don't know if I'll add this to the video that they've made so far, or if I just want to throw my 2 cents in there in some capacity. But I just wanted to be heard by at very least my system, and if the world happens to hear it too, then there's that. Yeah, we're a little bit co-conscious right now. But I just wanted to say that I have been noticing, like, some of the differences in between parts, and it's interesting being co-conscious with alters that I never realized existed. And I am one of 3 host parts that we have in our system. Host just means whoever's out most often, and lately I feel like I have been the host, and Lynn and Jay have been sort of like co-hosts, or arguably hosts. It's hard to tell which one of us is truly out the most, but I feel like we're the 3 in the system that tend to get the most day-to-day things done. We all in some capacity identify with what the body looks like, though in our inner world we still look distinct from each other, and I don't even know how to explain that other than it looks like our face with different styles, or through different filters, almost like different artists' take on the same painting. That's the best way I can describe that. Yeah, it's interesting starting to distinguish and notice the differences between us, because I think the more we're getting to know ourselves and each other, the more we're noticing those differences. And I think that we're somewhat, how do I say this? We've had possibly splits or fusions that we aren't completely aware of. How do I say this? How do I explain this? Especially to people who may or may not have even heard of D.I.D before, or not be as familiar with what D.I.D is. I'm gonna pause this and catch up to my brain for a second, and then I'm gonna come back when I have words. Okay, so it's been hard for us to open up about all of this, and we can't tell which one of us it's hardest for, because we go through these waves of acceptance, like radical acceptance, and feeling more open and honest and ready to talk about these things. And then we'll have like massive panic attacks about the fact that we're being more open. And I mean, every one of us, I think, that I'm aware of has at least once like done that, where they're like, okay, I want to be open about this. Oh shit, this is scary. Yeah. And like there have been countless journal entries about it where we're just like, yay, we were more open, and then the next day we're having a panic attack. And sometimes it's the same alter that's having a panic attack that was open, and then sometimes it's not. Sometimes it's like Jay decided to tell one of our friends something, and all of a sudden I'm having a panic attack about it, or introduced herself to somebody. I don't know if that name has been said yet on here. If it hasn't, I'll bleep it out. But like, you know, like another alter introduced herself to somebody, and then I find out, or Jay finds out, or Lynn finds out, or whoever finds out, and then they're like, oh my gosh, this is the thing that just happened. And yeah, it has been really overwhelming, and I was trying to think about why it is that we do that. And I've always thought of myself as like the one that's a little more philosophical, I guess, is the best word I can use for it, because I don't want to say more logical than the rest of our system, and I also don't want to say more emotional or more spiritual. But like I'm fairly spiritual. Of the alters in our system, words are difficult right now. What I mean by that in this context is I'm the one who tends to like suggest to the system that we meditate when we get overwhelmed. I'm decent at remembering what we should be doing in theory. Yeah, that's a great way to put it. Oh, we're really co-conscious right now. Holy shit. Sorry, excuse my language. I don't know who we're co-conscious with. It's definitely Blue, and there's definitely somebody else around right now. And they're having a very surprised reaction to the things that I'm saying, but I'm also having realizations for myself, so I feel surprised at my own words as I'm like realizing these things, but somebody else is like very surprised here, hence like the cussing and the, yeah. Anyway, okay, who is around right now? We're trying to ground a little bit, and I'm gonna calm down and ground for a second. Our cat is here, and we're recording a video, or an audio clip for a video, because we're in PJs and our hair is a mess, and I don't feel like showing my face right now, and I don't have to. I could put like some little anime blurb or something, or like a doodle, or maybe if one of our system members wants to draw us, then we can put that here. But yeah, I am talking about my perspective on us making this video. So what I was saying is I tend to be the one that like calms us down from things. I tend to be like the planner and the fixer, and the one who tends to get through a lot of the day-to-day things. And I tend to be decent at masking, especially in like work situations or like situations where we have to behave in a way that we view or seems socially presentable, put together, proper, you know, and maintaining composure in situations. I think we're mostly co-conscious with Jay, I think, but it's really hard to tell right now. But with the grounding, meditation, things like that, oh, that's what I was saying. So, being that I tend to be like a source of grounding in our system, or source of we're so spacey right now. Why can't I just record this? This is very frustrating. I don't want to switch right now. Trying to calm down. This is really weird to record this right now. This feels so vulnerable. Okay. Wow, this is literally what I was going to talk about. How we can be so open one moment and then panicking about it the next. And we don't know if that's a specific part that feels that way and tends to backtrack and panic, or if it's each of us having those panic feelings and then shutting down or dissociating because it's difficult for us to feel those things. And I tend to be an alter who can, I guess, sort of reason through their feelings. Like, that's something I've been working on with my therapist a lot, actually. It's just like not explaining my feelings and instead just like allowing myself to feel them.
there's a difference. Anyway, I'm not avoiding feelings while recording this video. We're very nervous to be open about this. And I think, yeah, we're nervous about the trip coming up. I think that's part of what is triggering us right now, actually, and what we're trying to calm down from. And we've seen some systems online get accused of faking their D.I.D. because their alters are so concrete and distinct from each other, and they present in such a defined and known way. The thing is, like, when we're truly comfortable and we're grounded and we're doing great, it is far easier to come here and be like, hey, it's Blue, it's Jay, whoever, like, calm. Right now it's a blendy, blobby, blurry mess. And I think Blue is still the one trying to communicate most of these things, but there's definitely, I think Jay is around, and there's definitely a few of us that are just like having some identity confusion right now. And I can tell you right now, it feels a lot more vulnerable to be trying to record in a state like this, where we don't fully know who's all around, because it feels like it's our words, but there's this passive sort of influence that feels out of our control, and that feels terrifying. It feels scary to acknowledge, because it's like, am I saying my thoughts right now, or where is the other portion of these thoughts coming from kind of feeling. It's like this far off, kind of shifty, blurry, what am I feeling kind of thing. And it's a very disconnected and uncomfortable feeling sometimes. That's a lot harder to show. It's a lot harder to ground and reason through. It's a lot harder to make coherent sense. This video, this portion of this video, this audio clip, is gonna be not great to edit. It's not gonna be the most fun to edit because it's all over the place. And it's not gonna be fun to just sit and listen to a black screen for 10 minutes. We're at 7 minutes on here and we've recorded several clips. So yeah, like I understand why that's not shown on the internet as much, because I think it feels more comfortable to post something that you're at least aware of everything going on and can confidently say like who was around, what was going on at the time, and you feel connected to the situation, than recording and trying to ground yourself through a situation, because that, it's messy, it's raw, it's vulnerable, and it's a lot of silent space and pauses, and it's not as easily digestible. So for the destigmatization and spreading awareness and just trying to communicate, trying to be eloquent and trying to be understood for clarity's sake, I completely understand why systems show a portion and tend to record when they're more grounded. Yeah, I originally had a point, and then I think I made like 3 different points, and I don't even know if I finished saying the one that I was gonna say in the beginning of this video. Yeah, cool. I don't know, maybe I'll journal about it and then like come back when I have a coherent like train of thought to, yeah, thanks for listening. Okay, bye.
Hi, so we're a little bit spacey right now, and if I'm not looking at the camera, it's just I'm trying to ground and like look at things around me, and yeah, looking at things around me is helping more than looking at the camera right now. But I just wanted to update you guys a little bit about our trip coming up and our thoughts on it. My thoughts on it. I guess I'll start off by saying which alter in our system is talking right now. I'm Blue. I recorded a video earlier, so you guys may have heard some of my thoughts on things, but it was really late at night, so I just recorded a black screen. So if you see some of that before this, then cool. But I just wanted to kind of update as it's getting closer to our trip. We are going to a D.I.D meetup and gala that is being put on by several systems who are also content creators. But yeah, it is a week away as of today, and that is so nerve-wracking. And this will probably be posted likely after the event or right before the event. I'm not sure when we're gonna post this. If we're gonna post this, we've been super nervous to be open and honest and talking about this, and it feels very surreal to even be recording these videos, because I mean, right now I am sitting in my apartment by myself with my cat, and it feels very, I feel safe in this environment, but talking about this does not feel safe. And so it's very surreal to be talking about this, to even think of the possibility of sharing this information with the world and opening up to the world. But this is what that journey looks like for us. And we are one D.I.D system. We're getting really overwhelmed, I'm sorry. What I was trying to say is we are only one perspective. I mean, sure, there's several perspectives within our system about all of this, but we are only one system, and we are only, we can't speak for everyone with D.I.D. We can only speak to our experiences. And yeah, our experience is that we are super nervous about this. I don't know. We've come so far in our healing journey, and the idea that we're being more open about this with friends and family and just the world, and the idea of letting people see us, truly see us for all that we are. Super nerve-wracking. But in some ways it's kind of exciting too, because we've started to find community again. And I don't just mean online or in terms of the D.I.D community, because yes, we have connected with incredible people online, both in the D.I.D communities and in the D&D communities, and cosplaying and role-playing and makeup, and those aren't communities that we have previously seen much overlap in. We know a couple D.I.D systems, or know of a couple of D.I.D systems who also cosplay or are interested in various fandoms and things like that. But we were personally really nervous to open up about our D.I.D because of our experience with cosplay and makeup and storytelling. Because who we are and the things that we've been through may be reflected in some aspects in the art we create, but is so far from all that we are and completely separate from our D.I.D. And so it's not something that we've spoken about. And it felt very difficult to connect with either of those communities the more we figured out about the way our brain works, because we were so afraid of backlash and people's opinions, and just really we were afraid of accepting it for ourselves as well. Accepting this and being open about it and talking about it to people makes it feel real. And to someone who dissociates and has a hard time feeling their feelings, it's scary to acknowledge when this feels real. That it is real and that it always has been, and that there's been evidence of this since we were little. It's a lot to acknowledge, it's a lot to admit. And so for a long time, just retreating into ourselves and not talking about it felt a lot easier, it felt a lot safer, but it also felt suffocating, and it didn't feel like we were allowed to be ourselves with people, to be real. So this is us trying to do that. And in a week, we are going to Columbus, Ohio for a D.I.D meet and greet and gala. And this feels like a huge step in our healing journey, in our journey with trying to accept our diagnosis. But it's so nerve-wracking. We've never even been to Ohio. Nor did we really, was it even on our radar to visit there before, to be perfectly honest. Not saying anything bad about Ohio. It's just like, we have no familiarity. We don't know anybody there. Like, this will be the first time we're traveling there, and it will also be the first time in how many years? Like 7 years? Wow. Yeah, it'll be like the first time in like 7 years that we've traveled alone. At least traveled alone on a vacation type, like trip that wasn't visiting family or moving or going somewhere for someone else. Like, this is the first trip that we've taken for ourselves in a very long time. The last time we traveled alone was to Japan, and don't get me wrong, I absolutely love Japan, and I have such a deep fondness and respect for everyone I know there and for the friends that I've made there. But the last time I visited was a very traumatic experience, and if I choose to go into that, that'll be a separate video. But just some very serious family things happened while I was there, and it was extremely traumatic. And so traveling alone again and taking a vacation for ourselves and taking a vacation as a disabled person with D.I.D, we're nervous. We don't quite know what to expect. And yeah, it feels like a big adventure. This is, we're taking on a new adventure and we don't know what to expect. And it's really nerve-wracking, but it should be really fun. We plan on taking you guys with us, kind of documenting the journey. And that'll be in a part 2 that we'll probably share after we come back. And yeah, right now it's a week away. We're starting to get things packed, trying to narrow down outfits. We're only going for like 4 days, but we don't know exactly what the weather will look like, or we've looked up the forecast, but we're like, what if it's colder in the evenings or warmer during the day? So we have like a bunch of layers and outfit options, and are still very much not fully packed, just kind of setting things aside or getting ideas of what we want to bring. And yeah, hopefully this goes well. We'll see. We actually just had a Zoom call with a support group and several other D.I.D systems that we've made friends with online and connected with, and that group has just been absolutely incredible, and a great support. And yeah, talking really helped, I think, ease some of our nerves about the trip coming up, but it's still nerve-wracking, and we're still nervous, excited, but just overall nervous. I don't know, I'm spacing a little bit. I'm gonna go for now, but we will update you as we have thoughts, and we will take you along for this journey as we go.
Hey everyone, thanks for watching the video. If you liked this video, please be sure to give it a like, comment down below on what you liked or what you'd like to learn more about, and if you'd like to see more of our videos, feel free to subscribe and click that bell icon so that you'll be notified when we post new videos. Today we wanted to share a comment of the day. This comment comes from Brittany0386, who says, "Just finished the video on our commute and I wanted to add in that learning to self-accommodate is really freaking hard, and ask if you'd want to talk about any of the new things you all started doing once you realized you're a system. We couldn't start figuring it out until we moved away from my parents' house a year ago, and it's definitely been a learning curve." First of all, Brittany, thank you so much for the comment. It definitely can be a lot to learn and unpack and figure out, and it is constantly a learning process for us as well. Honestly, we could make an entire video on just that alone, but one thing that comes to mind that's really helped us is we started keeping a journal where we can communicate with each other. Communication in any relationship, be it a friendship or an interpersonal relationship of any kind, is so important. And one thing that's really helped us is having a place where we can write out our thoughts and talk to each other. Additionally, we have a page in that notebook for group votes. Now, I'm not gonna lie, we still need to get better at actually using our journal, and especially the group votes page, but it has come in handy for making life decisions that will impact everyone in the system in our daily life, and even seemingly small decisions like getting a haircut. It allows us a place to talk about things and agree on something before we make that life-changing decision. Quick comments we wanted to shout out come from Katrina Giselle, who said they are our 7th sub, as well as Coven of the Hydra, who is our 10th sub. We are up to 10 subscribers currently, and seeing each one of your guys' comments and subscriptions means the world to us, especially seeing the comments shouting out what number subscriber you are. That made us really happy, just because we get to put a name and a face to the number of subscribers that we have, which is really cool because it reminds us that y'all are real life human people out there. And thank you for watching and following us on our journey. It means the world, and it reminds us that we're not alone. So thank you for being here, and I hope you guys have a good day. We will see you next time. Till then, take care.